The universe is not waiting for your words, it's waiting for your vibration. This is the moment of the cosmic green light, where you finally shift from wishing to commanding. You've summoned this audiobook because you're ready to wield your true power. Cosmic Green Light. Introduction. As your hands cradle these sacred words, understand this: they have not arrived by chance. This book is a signal, an ancient echo of the cosmos, that has found you in the precise moment your soul declared its readiness. The cosmic green light has pulsed into your awareness, silently announcing that the universe now awaits your command. For centuries, this knowledge was veiled, guarded by the wise who knew the hidden laws that shape reality through thought, feeling, and pure intention. Now the veil lifts, for you have summoned what your spirit has long remembered. The universe listens not to the noise of language, but to the silent symphony of your vibration. When your frequency aligns with certainty, it responds without hesitation. This text is not a mere book, but a key to unlock your sovereign power, to dissolve illusion and reveal the truth of your infinite creative nature. You are not here to beg or wait. You are here to remember. Your antenna is awakening, tuning into the exact frequency where desire and manifestation become indistinguishable. This, beloved one, is the meaning of the cosmic green light. In the chapters ahead, you will uncover rites and revelations once whispered only among initiates, practices not of effort, but of remembrance. They are the ancient gates through which all masters have passed, and now they open to you. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Part 1. Awakening to your command. Chapter 1. The Summoning Power. In a time not long past, Elizabeth discovered a leather-bound tome tucked away in her grandmother's attic. Though countless books surrounded her, this particular volume seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, beckoning her closer. As she reached for it, dust motes danced in a shaft of light, forming what appeared to be golden letters in the air before her. The moment her fingers touched the ancient cover, warmth spread through her body, and she knew with absolute certainty that this discovery was predestined. Your presence here, holding these words, mirrors Elizabeth's discovery. You have activated the sacred power of summoning, an ability that has dwelt within you since the dawn of your existence. This force operates through the eternal law of resonance, drawing to you precisely what your soul requires for its next transformation. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. The universe constantly responds to your inner frequency. Like calls to like, wisdom calls to the wise, and power calls to those ready to wield it. You have not found these teachings by chance. They have found you because you have unconsciously broadcast the perfect frequency of readiness. In the vast desert wastes, a traveler named Thomas stumbled forward, his water long since exhausted. The sun beat down mercilessly as he pressed on, his thoughts focused solely on his desperate thirst. Just as consciousness began to fade, he glimpsed a shimmer through half-closed eyes. There, amid the endless sand, stood an ancient well, its stones cool despite the desert heat. After drinking deeply, Thomas spoke with the well's keeper, who revealed a remarkable truth. The well had existed there for centuries, visible only to those who aligned with its frequency of need and readiness. Countless others had walked past unseeing, for their consciousness had not yet evolved to perceive it. So it is with the wisdom you now hold. These teachings have always existed, waiting in plain sight. Yet only now has your spiritual vibration risen to the level where you could recognize and receive them. Sacred practice, the acknowledgement of readiness. Find a quiet space where you will remain undisturbed. Sit with your spine straight, eyes gently closed, and place your open hands upon your lap, a position of receptivity that spans countless spiritual traditions. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. In this sacred silence, acknowledge the profound truth. You have summoned this wisdom because you are finally prepared to command the universe, rather than plead with it. Feel the resonance of this knowledge in every cell of your being. This moment marks not a beginning, but a remembrance, an awakening to the power that has always been yours. Chapter 2: The Cosmic Antenna. In the rolling hills of a remote countryside, Margaret sat before her aging radio equipment, her weathered hands hovering over the dials she had adjusted countless times over decades of service. One stormy evening, as static filled the airwaves, she experienced a remarkable revelation. While attempting to tune into a distant signal, she noticed that when she quieted her mind and adjusted her inner state, messages came through with pristine clarity, without touching a single dial. Within you exists this same divine equipment, a cosmic antenna that connects you directly to the infinite intelligence of the universe. This sacred instrument operates beyond the realm of physical senses, receiving guidance and broadcasting your intentions into the vast field of creation. Yet, like any delicate apparatus, its function can become impaired by the interference of doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs absorbed from the world around you. These distortions cloud your connection, turning what should be clear commands into muddled requests. The ancient wisdom keepers understood this, teaching that the key to manifestation lies not in the words you speak, but in the clarity of your energetic transmission. In a lighthouse perched on storm-battered cliffs, William faced the fiercest tempest of his career. As darkness descended and waves crashed against the rocky shore, he realized that the physical light he tended was no different from his inner flame. The more he strengthened his own clarity and resolve, the more powerfully the lighthouse beam cut through the darkness, guiding lost vessels to safe harbor. Through the night, as his inner light grew stronger, ship after ship found its way home, drawn to the unwavering beacon of his focused intention. To activate your cosmic antenna, settle into a space of sacred solitude. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Envision a golden antenna extending from the crown of your head, reaching upward into the infinite cosmos. With each breath, feel this connection growing stronger, more refined. Allow your purest intentions to flow upward through this golden channel, radiating outward in all directions like the first rays of dawn breaking across an endless horizon. Feel the vibration of universal energy cascading down through your antenna, a shower of celestial light filling every cell of your being with divine intelligence and cosmic wisdom. The energy moves through you like liquid gold, illuminating your body from within, transforming you into a living beacon of manifestation. Maintain this sacred connection for several minutes, breathing slowly and deliberately, knowing with unwavering certainty that your clear transmission pierces the veils between worlds, reaching into the very matrix of creation itself. Your intention, pure and undiluted, ripples through the quantum field like waves across an infinite ocean, setting in motion the precise forces needed to bring your desires into physical form. Chapter 3: The Veils of Perception. In a sun-drenched studio filled with the scent of oils and turpentine, Samuel guided his apprentice's hand across the canvas. "You paint what your eyes see," he said, "but true mastery comes from painting what exists beyond sight." Day after day, Samuel taught his students to perceive the essence beneath the surface. the joy radiating from a flower, the wisdom embedded in an ancient tree, the dance of light that gave life to still waters. Under this guidance, the apprentice's work transformed from technically correct to transcendently beautiful. Just as the apprentice learned to see beyond physical appearance, you too must pierce through the veils that obscure your view of reality's true nature. What appears as solid circumstance is but a projection, a story woven from threads of past experience and inherited belief. Behind these illusory curtains lies the fluid essence of existence, responding instantly to the touch of your conscious thought. 7 veils have kept you from recognizing your creative authority. The veil of separation has convinced you that you stand apart from what you wish to create. The veil of limitation has defined the boundaries of what you believe possible. Through the veil of unworthiness, you have seen yourself as undeserving of abundance. The veil of victimhood has hidden your power beneath stories of circumstance. The veil of scarcity has masked the infinite nature of universal supply. The veil of time has created the illusion of delay between desire and manifestation. The veil of impossibility has obscured the miraculous nature of existence itself. High in the misty mountains lived Grace, who knew only the gray world visible through the constant fog surrounding her home. Each morning she would wake to the same limited view, until one extraordinary day when a warm wind swept through the valley, lifting the fog like a veil being drawn aside. There, spread before her astonished eyes, lay a vast landscape painted in colors she had never imagined: emerald forests, sapphire lakes, golden fields stretching to distant purple mountains. In that moment, Grace understood that her world had always been this magnificent. Only her perception had been limited. To anchor this wisdom in your being, find a quiet space and center yourself with 3 deep breaths. Envision yourself standing before 7 gossamer veils, each shimmering with the labels of limitation. With each conscious breath, step through one veil, feeling it dissolve as you pass through its illusory barrier. Watch it evaporate like morning mist in the sun. Continue until you stand in a realm of pure potential, where your thoughts visibly ripple outward like stones cast upon still waters. Place one hand on your forehead, the other on your heart, and affirm with unwavering certainty, I now see with eyes of truth. Chapter 4: The Language of Energy. In a distant land where languages intertwined like threads in an ancient tapestry, Joseph found himself unable to speak a single word the locals could understand. Yet in this seeming isolation, he discovered something remarkable. Through the subtle art of presence, through his smile, through the energy he carried, doors opened before him. Strangers welcomed him into their homes, shared their meals, and formed bonds that transcended the barriers of spoken language. Beyond the realm of words lies a more fundamental language, the language of energy. This primal tongue speaks through vibrations, frequencies, and resonance, forming the very foundation of creation itself. The universe responds not to your verbal requests, but to the energetic signature you broadcast into the infinite field of possibility. Your thoughts and emotions are not mere internal experiences, they are commands sent forth into the cosmic web of creation. When you understand this truth, you realize that manifestation occurs not through the words you speak, but through the energy you embody. This universal language consists of 5 sacred elements: intention, attention, emotion, expectation, and gratitude. These form the energetic alphabet through which you communicate your desires to the universe. Intention sets the direction, attention amplifies the signal, emotion provides the power, expectation creates the magnetic pull, and gratitude completes the circuit of manifestation. When these 5 elements align, They form a command of such clarity that the universe cannot help but respond. In a valley between ancient mountains, Eleanor discovered an instrument unlike any other. Its strings seemed to shimmer with otherworldly light, and when she played it with pure feeling, the world around her began to shift. Flowers turned to face her music, clouds gathered and dispersed in rhythm with her melodies, and the very air seemed to crystallize with possibility. Through this magical instrument, Eleanor learned that it was not the notes themselves that held power, but the pure emotion she poured into them. To practice this universal language, find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your heart center. Begin to generate the feeling of having already received your heart's desire. Let this emotion build naturally, like a wave gathering strength. Feel it filling every cell of your body until you become a living embodiment of that fulfilled desire. Allow this pure feeling to radiate outward from your being in golden waves of energy, knowing that this is the clearest command you can send to the universe. Place your hand over your heart, connecting physically with this center of creative power, and whisper with absolute knowing, "It is done." Chapter 5. The Awakened Observer. High upon a windswept peak, Benjamin stood gazing down at his village below. From this elevated vantage point, a remarkable revelation unfolded before his eyes. The conflicts that had plagued his people for generations, feuds over water rights, disputes about property lines, arguments in the marketplace, suddenly appeared as interconnected patterns, like ripples in a pond, touching and influencing each other in ways invisible to those caught within them. When you step back from the canvas of your life, a similar clarity emerges. Just as Benjamin gained wisdom from his mountain perspective, you too possess the ability to rise above the stream of your thoughts and witness them from a place of heightened awareness. This sacred practice of becoming the awakened observer transforms you from a passive participant in life's drama to its conscious director. In this state of elevated consciousness, you discover that observation itself holds creative power. The ancient mystics understood what quantum physics now confirms. The very act of observing changes that are observed. Your thoughts, when witnessed from this higher perspective, become like clay in the potter's hands, ready to be reshaped according to your conscious choice. As the awakened observer, you gain the power to distinguish between thoughts that serve your highest good and those that limit your potential. No longer must you remain entangled in every thought that crosses your mind. Instead, you can choose which thoughts to energize with your attention and which to let float away like leaves on a stream. In a distant valley, Harriet discovered an enchanted-looking glass passed down through generations of wise women. Through its crystal surface, she witnessed golden threads of light extending from every thought, connecting to physical manifestations in the world around her. With growing wonder, she learned that by simply redirecting these threads through her conscious attention, she could weave new patterns into the fabric of reality. To access this transformative power, find a quiet space and assume a dignified posture. Close your eyes and imagine yourself rising gently above your physical form. From this elevated perspective, observe your thoughts as clouds drifting across the vast sky of your consciousness. Name each thought as it passes without judgment or attachment. Planning. Worrying. Remembering ... Select one empowering thought that aligns with your deepest desires. Direct your full attention toward it, watching as it grows more radiant and powerful with your focused awareness. Feel this chosen thought beginning to manifest in your reality as you gently return to your body, carrying this observer's perspective with you into each moment of your day. Chapter 6. The Divine Frequency. In the quiet valleys of an ancient land, Alice discovered a peculiar radio among her grandmother's treasures. Unlike ordinary devices, this radio remained silent until she learned its extraordinary secret. It would only play when her emotional state perfectly matched the frequency she wished to receive. Through patient practice, she found that to hear music of joy, she needed to feel genuine joy in her heart. To receive messages of love, she had to embody love itself. This timeless tale unveils a fundamental truth about the universe. It operates through precise vibrational frequencies. Your desires exist as specific energetic signatures in the cosmic field, manifesting only when your personal vibration aligns with their unique frequency. Think of yourself as a living transmission tower, constantly broadcasting through your emotional state. Your emotions are not mere responses to life circumstances. They are powerful creative forces. Each feeling resonates at a distinct frequency in the universal field. Fear, doubt, and worry vibrate at dense, slower frequencies that block manifestation. Anger and frustration create static in your transmission. But joy, gratitude, and love, these elevated emotions broadcast at frequencies so pure and powerful that they activate instant manifestation. When you understand this principle, you realize why certain desires have remained elusive. Your emotional broadcast has been misaligned with their frequency. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to your energetic signature. This explains why forcing, struggling, or wanting too desperately often pushes desires further away. These states vibrate at frequencies incompatible with manifestation. In the gardens of an ancient monastery, Charles, a devoted caretaker, made a remarkable discovery. His plants responded dramatically to the songs he sang, but only when his heart truly felt the melody. Empty vocals produced no effect, but when he sang from a place of pure love and joy, the gardens would transform overnight, blooming with unprecedented vitality. His discovery demonstrated that authentic emotional resonance creates tangible changes in physical reality. To align with your desires, place your hands over your heart center. Recall a moment of pure, unbridled joy, a time when happiness filled every cell of your being. Allow this feeling to intensify, to expand through your entire body until you perceive a subtle vibration or hum. This is your natural frequency of manifestation. Now hold your desire in mind while maintaining this vibration, allowing both energies to synchronize and merge. Complete this sacred practice by gently touching your thymus area while affirming, "I am now attuned to the divine frequency of my desire." Chapter 7. The Greenlight Principle. In the hidden chambers of an ancient temple, Victoria traced her fingers along weathered stone walls until she discovered something extraordinary. A mysterious traffic signal, its surface covered in sacred symbols. This peculiar device remained dormant until she learned its secret. It responded not to physical traffic, but to the quality of human thought. When her mind wandered in doubt or confusion, the light glowed red. As her thoughts aligned with purpose, it shifted to yellow. Only when her intentions crystallized with absolute clarity did the signal transform to a brilliant emerald green. The cosmic green light exists as more than mere metaphor. It represents the precise moment when the universe acknowledges your command. This sacred threshold marks the transformation from seeking to finding, from asking to receiving, from hoping to knowing. When you reach this vibrational state, manifestation becomes not just possible but inevitable. Throughout the ages, those who mastered the art of conscious creation recognized 4 distinct stages in the manifestation process. The red light phase signals resistance, old beliefs and doubts blocking your path. The yellow light phase indicates alignment, your thoughts and feelings harmonizing with your desire. The green light phase activates creation, the universe mobilizing its infinite resources to fulfill your intention. Beyond light represents pure receiving, allowing your manifestation to flow into physical form. In a distant coastal town, Frederick tended a lighthouse unlike any other. On stormy nights when ships lost their way, his beacon would inexplicably transform from white to green. This ethereal emerald glow did more than illuminate. It seemed to reach out across the waters, drawing vessels safely to harbor through an unseen force. Ships' captains reported feeling an inexplicable pull toward the green light, as if the very waters conspired to guide them home. Just as Frederick's mysterious light actively drew ships to safety, your activated cosmic green light pulls your desires into physical manifestation. It serves as both beacon and bridge, illuminating the path while simultaneously drawing your desires across the threshold from potential to reality. Close your eyes and sit in sacred stillness. Before you stand a cosmic traffic signal reflecting your current manifestation state. With each exhale, release doubt, resistance, and uncertainty. With each inhale, strengthen your clarity and conviction. Watch as the light transforms, moving through red through yellow until it blazes with brilliant emerald radiance. Extend your hands, palms facing upward, and receive its verdant rays. Feel them infusing every cell of your being as you affirm, "The cosmic green light now shines upon my path of manifestation." Chapter 8. The Permission Paradox. Deep within the heart of an ancient city, Evelyn received a mysterious inheritance, an ornate chest adorned with celestial symbols and sacred geometry. A note accompanying it revealed that within lay everything she had ever yearned for, yet despite its profound promise, the chest remained steadfastly sealed. For months she searched for its key in the physical world, until a wise woman whispered that the true key lay hidden within her own heart, the key of self-permission. You stand now at this same threshold of discovery. The power to manifest your deepest desires has never left your possession, yet like Evelyn, you have searched outside yourself for permission to access it. Since your earliest moments, the world has woven a spell of forgetfulness around your inherent creative abilities. Teachers insisted you must learn from others. Religious authorities claimed divine connection required intermediaries. Scientists declared reality fixed and immutable. Each voice added another layer to the illusion that your power lay somewhere beyond yourself. Yet this power, your sovereign ability to command rather than request, has always resided within you. It pulses in every heartbeat, flows through every breath. You need no external authority to grant what is your divine birthright. The universe responds not to permissions granted by others, but to the unwavering certainty that emanates from your own being. In the second tale, King Henry ordered his entire kingdom searched for a thief who had stolen his royal scepter. For years he felt powerless without it, until one morning, gazing into a sacred pool, he saw his reflection clearly for the first time. There, in his own hand, the scepter had rested all along, rendered invisible by a spell of forgetfulness. Like Henry, you need only dispel the illusion to reclaim what was never truly lost. Stand now before a mirror, gaze deeply into your own eyes. Place your right hand over your heart and extend your left hand outward. Speak these words with the authority that is your birthright. I stand in my sovereign power as a conscious creator. I reclaim my divine right to command the universe directly, without intermediary or permission. As it was in the beginning, so it is now revealed through the eternal wisdom of the ages. Touch your forehead, the seat of divine thought, your lips, the gateway of sacred declaration, and your heart, the throne of infinite power, sealing this profound truth into the very fabric of your being with this sovereign affirmation. I hereby grant myself complete and absolute permission to command the limitless universe as is my divine and eternal birthright, passed down through countless generations of conscious creators before me. Chapter 9, The Revealing Mirror. In the heart of an ancient temple, Theodore discovered a hall lined with mirrors unlike any he had encountered before. As he moved through the corridor, each mirror revealed not his physical form, but vivid scenes from his life, his strained relationships, his financial struggles, his unfulfilled dreams. In one mirror, he saw himself alone, surrounded by walls of his own making. In another, he witnessed opportunities slipping away due to his hesitation. Each reflection showed him not what he looked like, but what his thoughts and emotions had created in his world. Your reality operates as this same mystical hall of mirrors. Every circumstance you encounter reflects back to you the sum total of your internal state. The promotion that keeps eluding you, the relationships that follow familiar patterns, the abundance that seems just out of reach. These are not random events happening to you, but precise reflections manifesting from you. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has designed this flawless feedback system. Like a mirror that cannot show anything other than what stands before it, your external world cannot manifest anything other than what you hold within. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional vibrations broadcast continuous commands to the universe, which it must reflect back with perfect precision. In a small village, Martha lived in what she perceived as perpetual darkness. Day after day, she lamented the poor light in her home, blaming the position of the sun, the weather, even her neighbor's trees. When a wise woman visited, she simply took a cloth and began cleaning Martha's windows. As layers of dust fell away, sunlight flooded the room. The light was never missing, the wise woman said. It simply needed a clear surface to shine through. This eternal law, as within, so without, reveals itself in every aspect of your existence. When you understand this truth, you cease being a victim of circumstances and step into your power as the conscious commander of your reality. Every situation that appears in your life offers a perfect reflection of your internal state, showing you exactly where your creative power requires refinement. Now, create a sacred space for reflection. Select one circumstance in your life that challenges you. Sit in quiet meditation with this situation and ask, what is this reflecting back to me about my internal state? Write down the insights that arise without judgment. Then, consciously choose a new internal state that would reflect your desired circumstance. Complete this practice by gazing into a mirror while affirming, as within, so without. I now command a new reflection. Chapter 10, The Ancient Promise. In the depths of an ancient cave hidden from mortal eyes for countless generations, Sophia discovered a weathered stone tablet that would transform her understanding of existence. Upon its face, etched in symbols that seemed to shimmer with their own inner light, was inscribed the eternal promise. The universe stands ready to obey those who comprehend its sacred laws. This promise has been preserved through the ages, passed down through mystery schools and sacred traditions. From the torch-lit temples of Egypt to the mist-shrouded monasteries of Tibet, masters have safeguarded this supreme knowledge. Reality itself bends to the will of those who align with universal principles. Within every spiritual tradition, this truth has been encoded in symbols and whispered through parables, awaiting those whose consciousness has evolved enough to grasp its profound implications. The time has come for you to receive this timeless wisdom. 7 universal laws govern this cosmic promise. The law of mentalism reveals that all is mind. The universe itself is a mental creation. The law of correspondence teaches, as above, so below, as within, so without. The law of vibration shows that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The law of polarity demonstrates that opposites are identical in nature, varying only in degree. The law of rhythm explains the pendulum swing manifest in all things. The law of cause and effect confirms that every cause has its effect, every effect its cause. The law of gender reveals that everything has masculine and feminine principles, necessary for creation. In a distant monastery, Daniel, a humble scribe, received a mysterious gift, an empty book bound in ancient leather. As he sat before its blank chapters, doubting its purpose, nothing appeared. Yet when he approached it with unwavering certainty, asking questions from his heart, wisdom flowed across its chapters in letters of golden light. The book responded only to his absolute conviction, teaching him that the universe mirrors our certainty with equal precision. Now prepare yourself for the sacred covenant ceremony. Find a quiet space and settle into meditation. Visualize before you a great altar of creation, its surface gleaming with ethereal light. Upon it rests an ancient scroll, its edges illuminated with symbols of power. This scroll contains the eternal promise between you and the universe. Place your hand upon your heart, feeling its steady rhythm aligning with universal truth. Speak these words with complete conviction. I now claim the ancient promise. As I command with clarity and certainty, the universe responds with perfect obedience. This covenant is sealed in the eternal now. Watch as a beam of pure light extends from your heart, signing this sacred agreement in the eternal record of creation. Part 2, The Mechanics of Manifestation. Chapter 11, The Alchemy of Thought. In a time beyond memory, there lived an alchemist named Walter, who devoted his life to discovering the legendary Philosopher's Stone. In his laboratory, filled with bubbling crucibles and ancient manuscripts, he tested countless formulas, combining rare elements in search of the substance that could turn lead into gold. After years of failed attempts, Walter experienced a profound awakening. The true Philosopher's Stone wasn't a physical object, but the focused power of his own thoughts. Through this awakening, you now recognize that your thoughts are the prima materia, the raw materials in the cosmic laboratory where base experiences transmute into golden manifestations. Each thought emanates a specific vibrational signature, attracting corresponding elements from the quantum field that combine into the compounds of your lived experience. The ancient art of mental alchemy follows 7 sacred stages. Through purification, you cleanse your thoughts of doubt and fear. In dissolution, limiting beliefs break down into their component parts, revealing their illusory nature. Separation allows you to distinguish between thoughts that empower and those that constrain. Conjunction unites your purified thoughts with the catalyzing power of emotion. Through fermentation, repeated focus strengthens your creative vibration. Distillation refines your intention to its purest essence. Finally, coagulation crystallizes your transmuted thoughts into physical form. In a distant valley, Clara inherited an extraordinary book of family recipes. As she prepared each dish, she noticed something remarkable. The same ingredients produced entirely different results, depending on the thoughts she held while cooking. When she cooked with thoughts of abundance, simple ingredients transformed into feasts. When doubt clouded her mind, even the finest ingredients yielded meager results. To practice this ancient art, find a quiet sanctuary and settle into a posture of receptive stillness, your eyes gently closed like lotus petals at dusk. With your awareness turned inward, visualize a magnificent golden Athanor, the sacred alchemical furnace of transformation, pulsing with divine light within your solar plexus, its eternal flame ready to transmute all it touches. Select one base circumstance in your life that calls for transformation, and with reverent intention, place it symbolically into this mystical furnace. Feel its weight dissolve as you apply the transformative fire of your conscious intention, watching with your inner eye as the circumstance begins to shift and change form. Like a master alchemist in their ancient laboratory, observe with patience and wonder as the base matter transmutes, its density gradually dissolving until it emerges as pure golden light, the ethereal essence of your desired manifestation. Draw this golden essence throughout your entire being with slow, deliberate breaths. Let it flow through every cell, every atom of your body, illuminating you from within while speaking these words of power. Through the sacred and eternal art of mental alchemy, I transform my reality with the purified power of divine thought. Feel the truth of these words resonating in perfect harmony with the universal forces of creation. Chapter 12, The Unwavering Command. Along the storm-battered coastline, Edward tended his lighthouse with singular devotion. Night after night, he observed how vessels navigated the treacherous waters beneath his tower. A curious pattern emerged. Ships found safe passage only when his light remained perfectly steady, unwavering in its purpose. When his attention wavered or doubt crept in, the light seemed to flicker, and ships would struggle against the elements. The universe operates on this same principle. It responds not to wishes cast like pennies into a well, nor to hopes whispered in moments of desperation. The creative force that shapes reality answers only to unwavering commands issued from a place of quiet certainty. This truth has been known by master manifestors throughout the ages, those who understood that doubt creates static in your transmission to the universe, while complete conviction creates a signal of such clarity that manifestation becomes inevitable. 5 elements compose an unwavering command. First is singular focus. Your intention must be clear and undivided, like a laser beam cutting through darkness. Second is emotional congruence. Your feelings must align perfectly with your command, creating a harmonious broadcast. Third is present tense embodiment. You must speak and feel as though your desire exists now, not in some distant future. Fourth is grateful expectation, maintaining absolute certainty while feeling deep gratitude for what is already yours. Fifth is detached certainty, knowing your command will manifest while releasing attachment to when or how it appears. In a valley untouched by time, Caroline discovered an ancient speaking trumpet crafted from mystical metals. Each time she spoke into it, she noticed that only words uttered without a trace of doubt would manifest in the physical world. When uncertainty tinged her voice, her words dissolved into empty echoes. Through this instrument, she learned that hesitation in command creates hesitation in the universe's response. To practice this sacred art of commanding, stand in dignified posture with your feet firmly planted on the ground. Keep your spine straight and position your hands palms up at your sides. Speak your desire aloud in a clear, unwavering voice as a present reality statement rather than a future wish. Repeat your command 3 times, each declaration carrying greater certainty than the last, feeling the resonance of your words creating ripples throughout the universe. Bring your hands together at your heart and seal your command with these words. It is commanded, it is done, it is so. Chapter 13, The Sacred Yes. At a mystical crossroads in an ancient forest, Matthew the wanderer encountered 4 paths stretching into the mists. Unlike ordinary signposts marking destinations, these bore simple inscriptions: what you embrace, what you release, what you become, and what you transcend. As he stood contemplating his choice, an ageless wisdom revealed itself. To step forward on any path meant leaving the others behind. The power of choice lies not merely in what you select, but in what you consciously release. Your creative energy flows with greatest force when channeled through clear decisions rather than scattered across endless possibilities. Those who remain caught in cycles of lack often say a weak yes to every opportunity, diluting their manifesting power like a river divided into too many streams. The universe responds with precision to your choices. When you declare a powerful yes to that which aligns with your highest good, you automatically generate a protective boundary, a sacred no to all that would dilute or divert your manifestation. This boundary acts not as a wall, but as a focusing lens, concentrating your creative energy into a laser beam of intentional creation. In a remote mountain village, Lucille the weaver created tapestries of such beauty they appeared to capture light itself within their threads. Yet her mastery came only after learning the art of selection, choosing certain threads while passing over others that, though beautiful alone, would have diminished the final creation. Each masterpiece emerged not from using every available thread, but from choosing precisely the right ones. This mirrors the art of conscious creation. Your life becomes a masterpiece not by accepting every opportunity, but by selecting those that resonate with your truest vision while honoring those you release. Each clear no strengthens the power of your yes, focusing your creative energy with laser precision. To harness this wisdom, perform the sacred ritual of discernment. Take a fresh piece of paper and draw a line down its center. In the first column, list everything you now say yes to: opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your highest vision. In the second column, write what you consciously release with respect and clarity. When complete, safely burn this paper while visualizing your chosen paths growing brighter as those released transform to smoke. Place your hands in a prayer position at your heart and speak these words: through my sacred yes and my honored no, I create a clear channel for divine abundance to flow. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14: The Art of Releasing Resistance. Along a treacherous coastline, Nathaniel battled fierce currents day after day, his small vessel straining against the powerful waters. His determination to reach the distant harbor kept him pushing forward, yet the more he fought, the further his destination seemed to drift. One morning, an ancient mariner appeared alongside his boat, his weathered vessel moving effortlessly through the same waters that had exhausted Nathaniel. "You resist what wishes to assist you," the old sailor called out. "These currents you fight against would carry you home if you but learned to flow with their wisdom." He taught Nathaniel to read the water's natural patterns, to align his sail with the current's power rather than oppose it. Within days, Nathaniel reached his destination with remarkable ease, having learned that surrender held more power than struggle. This wisdom echoes through the ages. Resistance alone prevents the immediate manifestation of your desires. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up each day to check its progress or force its growth. You trust in the natural process of germination and growth. Yet in manifesting your desires, you often create resistance through doubt, fear, worry, and attachment to specific outcomes. Resistance wears clever disguises, masquerading as prudence when it whispers, "Be realistic," appearing as virtue when it counsels, "Don't expect too much," or wearing the mask of wisdom when it advises, "Prepare for the worst." These subtle forms of resistance create a countercurrent, pushing against the natural flow of your desires into physical form. In a distant temple, Judith discovered an ornate door said to lead to the fulfillment of one's deepest wishes. For hours she pushed against it, tried every manner of force, yet it remained firmly closed. Exhausted, she finally slumped against the door, releasing all effort, and in that moment of complete surrender, it opened effortlessly. This temple door held a profound truth. Manifestation occurs most readily when you release your grip on how it must unfold. The practice. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably with eyes closed. Breathe deeply as you scan your body for areas of tension related to your desires. Place your hand on each tense area, breathing golden light into it while silently saying, "I release," on each exhale. Continue until your entire being feels light and open. Visualize yourself standing beneath a waterfall of golden light that washes away all remaining resistance. Extend your arms outward with palms up and affirm, "I now release all resistance and allow the perfect fulfillment of my desire through divine orchestration." Chapter 15. The Invisible Bridge. In the ancient desert city of Koresh, a traveler named Richard stood at the edge of a vast canyon, his destination visible yet seemingly unreachable on the distant cliff. For days he searched for a way across, until an enigmatic figure emerged from the morning mist. "The bridge you seek has always been here," the guide said, stepping onto what appeared to be empty air. "It exists in the realm of absolute certainty, visible only to those who trust in the unseen." With each confident step the guide took, Richard glimpsed momentary shimmers of a crystalline pathway spanning the chasm. Following the guide's example, he discovered that his own unwavering faith made each section of the bridge materialize beneath his feet. "Between where you stand now and where your desires await lies a similar bridge, invisible to physical eyes, but eternally present in the quantum field of pure potential. This field responds not to what you see, but to what you know with unshakable certainty. Every desire you hold exists simultaneously as wave and particle, as possibility and manifestation, separated only by the bridge of your faith. Just as the quantum physicist understands that observation collapses infinite possibility into specific reality, you must grasp that your expectation creates the very pathway to your manifestation. This bridge of faith requires no physical effort, but demands complete trust in the unseen orchestration of universal forces. In the gardens of Valencia, Agatha discovered an ancient map promising to lead her to a priceless treasure. Yet most of the journey was obscured by strange, swirling mist that seemed to shift and change. As she began her quest, she realized that each step taken in complete faith caused more of the path to materialize before her. The mist parted not in response to her searching eyes, but to her trusting heart. Practice. Stand tall now, with eyes gently closed. Visualize the vast chasm between your present circumstance and your heart's desire. See the invisible bridge of faith spanning this gap, knowing it will support your journey. Take 7 sacred steps across this bridge, declaring with each step, "I trust in perfect timing. I believe in unseen forces. I know the path appears as needed. I feel guided at every turn. I recognize signs and synchronicities. I receive unexpected assistance. I arrive at my perfect destination." Open your eyes, place your hand upon your heart, and affirm, I now cross the invisible bridge with perfect faith in the unseen path. Chapter 16. The Rhythm of Creation. In the ancient halls of a forgotten temple, Charlotte discovered a series of intricate symbols etched into the floor. As she traced their pattern with her movements, she felt an inexplicable force guiding her steps into a precise rhythm. With each sequence she performed, the very fabric of reality seemed to ripple and transform around her. Through this sacred choreography, you now uncover the cosmic rhythm that governs all manifestation. Like a grand celestial dance, creation moves through 4 distinct beats that must be honored in their perfect sequence. Many who seek to manifest their desires remain trapped in an incomplete rhythm, endlessly commanding without flowing through the full cycle of creation. The first beat calls for your clear command, a moment of absolute certainty where you declare your intention with unwavering conviction. Yet this is merely the opening movement. The second beat requires the sublime art of releasing, where you surrender all attachment to how your desire will manifest. This release creates space for universal forces to move freely on your behalf. The third beat invites you to actively receive. Many miss this crucial phase, believing their role ends with asking and letting go. True receiving requires you to position yourself in alignment with your desire, remaining alert and responsive to opportunity. The fourth beat completes the cycle through genuine gratitude. Not merely giving thanks, but feeling the profound appreciation that opens the channel for greater manifestation. This truth was illuminated through Howard, a humble farmer who inherited land marked by 4 mysterious stones. For years his crops struggled until he discovered that each stone resonated with a different phase of growth. Only by honoring the rhythm they revealed, planting, releasing control, actively tending and expressing gratitude, did his fields flourish with unprecedented abundance. The sacred practice guides you to embody this cosmic rhythm through conscious movement. Stand in a private space and begin the manifestation dance. First, rise tall with arms reaching skyward, issuing your command with clarity. Second, open your arms wide with palms forward, releasing all attachment. Third, bring your arms in with palms up, actively receiving. Fourth, place hands over heart in deep gratitude. Breathe deeply in each position, allowing its energy to fill your being. Flow through this sequence 7 times with increasing fluidity. Close by placing your right hand on your solar plexus and left hand on your heart while affirming, I now dance in perfect rhythm with the cosmic cycle of creation. Chapter 17. The Divine Blueprint. In the shadows of an old manor house, Jonathan traced his fingers along faded wallpaper, discovering hidden seams that seemed to pulse with ancient wisdom. As he followed these lines, they led him to a concealed compartment containing architectural plans unlike any he had seen before. The blueprints revealed that his modest ancestral home held the potential to transform into a magnificent palace through the activation of sacred geometries built into its very foundation. Within your being lies a similar divine blueprint, an eternal design that holds the master plan of your highest destiny. This sacred architecture exists beyond the realm of conscious thought, encoded in the very fabric of your soul. When your desires align with this blueprint, manifestation flows with supernatural ease. Yet when your commands conflict with this higher design, you experience the friction of forcing what was never meant to be. Your divine blueprint speaks through the language of intuition, those inexplicable knowings that arise from the depths of your being. It reveals itself in recurring dreams that refuse to be forgotten, in moments of pure joy that seem to transcend ordinary happiness, and in the pattern of synchronicities that have woven through your life like golden threads in a tapestry. Consider Madeline, whose hands held a mysterious fabric that possessed an intelligence of its own. Though she attempted to impose various patterns upon it, the fabric would only yield to designs that honored its inherent nature. When she finally surrendered to its natural grain, it transformed into garments of such beauty that they seemed to radiate light. To access your divine blueprint, settle into sacred stillness, placing one hand upon your heart and the other upon your abdomen. Journey inward to a chamber bathed in golden light, where a crystalline structure slowly rotates. This living geometry contains the complete design of your highest potential. Observe its patterns, colors, and sacred symmetries with patient attention. Ask this blueprint to reveal one specific aspect that requires your focus now. Bring both hands to rest upon your heart and declare, "I now align my conscious commands with my divine blueprint, allowing the universe to manifest my highest potential with grace and ease." Chapter 18, The Sovereign Declaration. In the candlelit chambers of an ancient library, James discovered a weathered scroll that held secrets far beyond mere historical records. As his fingers traced the faded hieroglyphs, he uncovered the truth about royal decrees of forgotten kingdoms. Their power stemmed not from armies or wealth, but from a specific tone of unquestionable authority that the universe itself recognized and obeyed. This sovereign tone exists within you, waiting to be awakened. When you speak from this place of inner authority, your words carry the power to rearrange the very fabric of existence. This is not the hollow command of ego, but the natural authority that flows when you align with universal truth. Throughout the ages, masters of manifestation understood this principle. Words spoken from sovereignty hold creative force beyond ordinary affirmations or intentions. They knew that speaking as though your word is law, not from pride but from divine alignment, activates an immediate cosmic response. To issue a sovereign declaration, you must first recognize yourself as an extension of divine intelligence rather than a limited being making requests. Your words must ring with present tense certainty, for the universe responds to commands spoken as accomplished fact. This requires embodying the consciousness of one who knows their oneness with Source, speaking with the quiet authority that needs no external validation. In a distant valley, Lydia discovered an ancient scepter adorned with mysterious symbols. Unlike ordinary royal artifacts, this scepter responded only to those who embodied true inner sovereignty. When held by one who recognized their divine authority, words spoken through the scepter would manifest instantly in the physical world. Yet the scepter merely symbolized an innate power, the ability to speak with such clarity and certainty that the universe itself bows in response. To activate your sovereign authority, create a sacred ceremony before a mirror, wearing attire that evokes your highest sense of dignity and power. Place your left hand upon your heart, while raising your right hand as though holding an invisible scepter. Speak your declaration 3 times, each with increasing authority, beginning with, "I, as an extension of divine intelligence, hereby declare," stating your command in present tense as an accomplished fact. Close by, touching your forehead, lips, and heart, while affirming, "By my sovereign word as a conscious creator, aligned with the highest truth, it is now law in the universe. So it is." Chapter 19, The Emotional Crucible. In a sunlit chamber filled with bubbling crucibles and ancient manuscripts, Rebecca observed her father's alchemical workings with growing fascination. Day after day, she noticed a peculiar pattern. His transmutation succeeded not through precise measurements or rare ingredients, but through the invisible force of his emotional energy infused into each element. This revelation unveils a truth kept hidden through the ages. Your emotions serve as the alchemical fire that transforms thought into physical manifestation. They are not mere responses to your reality, but rather the catalytic force that determines how swiftly and powerfully the universe responds to your commands. Within the crucible of creation, each emotional frequency acts as a specific transformative agent. Joy accelerates manifestation like a blazing flame, while gratitude creates a steady, sustainable heat that ensures complete transformation. Wonder opens channels through which universal forces can flow freely, magnifying your creative power. Yet emotions like doubt cast a dampening chill, while worry and fear create resistance that prevents your desires from taking form. The mastery of manifestation requires learning to cultivate high-frequency emotional states, regardless of external circumstances. Just as an alchemist maintains precise temperatures for transformation, you must consciously generate and sustain the emotional energies that support your desires into being. In a distant monastery, Arthur received an ancient stringed instrument, passed down through generations of mystic musicians. As he played, he discovered that melodies performed with technical perfection remained mere sounds, but when he infused his music with genuine emotion, the notes took physical form, creating scenes of beauty that materialized before his eyes. This truth mirrors the process of manifestation. It is not mechanical precision, but heartfelt feeling that infuses your commands with the life force needed for physical expression. To harness this alchemical power, sit quietly with eyes closed, placing both hands over your heart. Call forth the emotional state that would naturally arise if your desire had already manifested. Begin with a small spark of this feeling, perhaps the quiet joy of achievement or the deep peace of knowing. Gradually increase its intensity by adding sensory details, the sights, sounds, and textures of your manifested reality. Layer in meaningful associations, the faces of loved ones sharing your joy, the sense of accomplishment, the feeling of divine rightness. Allow this emotion to expand until it fills your entire being, then overflow into the space around you. Place your hands on your solar plexus and affirm, "Through the alchemical fire of pure emotion, I transform my desire into physical reality now." Chapter 20. The Inspired Action. Through the ages, the wisest masters have understood a truth that often eludes those who seek manifestation: the sacred marriage between spiritual command and physical action. This wisdom reveals itself in the tale of Oliver, a gifted sculptor who spent countless hours in meditation, beseeching the divine to reveal the masterpiece waiting within his marble block. Yet despite his fervent prayers, no vision came. It was only when he approached the stone, chisel in hand, that divine inspiration began to flow. With each strike of his tools, the guidance he sought poured through his moving hands, revealing the beauty hidden within. This ancient truth illuminates the path of manifestation, that while the universe responds to your commands, it often delivers its answers through the gateway of action. Your clear intention creates an energetic blueprint in the quantum field, but it is through aligned physical movement that this blueprint descends into material form. Yet here lies a crucial distinction that many seekers fail to grasp. There exists a profound difference between anxious action born of fear and doubt, and inspired action that flows naturally after your command has been issued with certainty. The first pushes against the current of creation, while the second moves in harmony with universal forces. Consider the story of Amelia, who received an ancient map leading to a hidden treasure. Upon first examining the parchment, She found most of it blank, except for a single instruction marking the first step. Only after she followed this initial guidance did the next direction appear, and so on throughout her journey. Each movement forward unveiled the next phase of her path, teaching her to trust in the perfect timing of divine revelation. This wisdom shows us that manifestation flows most powerfully when we learn to recognize and follow the subtle signs of intuitive guidance, those gentle nudges, unexpected opportunities, and synchronized moments that appear after we have issued our clear command to the universe. These signs rarely reveal the entire journey at once, but rather illuminate each step as we are ready to take it. To develop your own intuitive action compass, begin by sitting quietly in meditation with a specific question about what inspired action to take toward your manifestation. Place your hands palms up, allowing your mind to empty of all preconceptions. Wait receptively for guidance to appear. It may come as a physical sensation, a mental image, an inner voice, or an emotional shift. Write down whatever guidance arrives without judgment. Before the day ends, take one symbolic action, however small, in the direction indicated. Close this practice by touching your heart and affirming, "I now move in perfect harmony with divine guidance, taking inspired action that bridges heaven and earth." Part 3. Living in Commanded Reality. Chapter 21. The Signs of Alignment. In ancient times, there lived a woman named Abigail who wandered through life seeking her true purpose. One morning, as she contemplated her path forward, a pristine white feather floated down before her feet. Something about its perfect timing stirred her soul, and she felt compelled to follow its direction into the forest. Each time, doubt crept into her mind about whether to continue. Another feather would appear, as if placed by an unseen hand, guiding her deeper into the woods. After hours of following this mysterious trail, she emerged into a sunlit clearing where she discovered exactly what her heart had been seeking all along. The universe speaks to you through a sacred language of signs and synchronicities. When you issue a clear command to the cosmic forces, they respond not just through manifestation, but through a continuous stream of confirmations that your reality is shifting in accordance with your will. These signs appear as breadcrumbs along your path, reassuring you that although the complete manifestation may not yet be visible, the unseen forces are already at work restructuring reality to match your command. Learn to recognize the 5 primary signs of alignment. First are meaningful coincidences, events that carry unmistakable significance related to your desire. Second are recurring numbers or symbols that catch your attention with unusual frequency. Third are unexpected opportunities that seem to appear precisely when needed. Fourth are intuitive nudges, those subtle inner promptings that guide you toward or away from certain actions. Fifth are dreams containing guidance, often presenting solutions or insights that your conscious mind had overlooked. The ancient masters understood these signs not as mere superstition, but as the cosmic feedback system confirming their alignment with universal forces. Yet they also taught the wisdom of discernment. Not every coincidence carries meaning, and not every dream contains guidance. The key lies in developing a balanced awareness that neither dismisses genuine signs nor creates meaning where none exists. A sailor named Lawrence once discovered this truth while navigating treacherous waters. When his inner compass aligned perfectly with true north, he noticed the stars above would subtly shift their positions, creating clear pathways through otherwise dangerous passages. This taught him that when one's internal alignment is true, the very fabric of reality rearranges itself to support the journey. To help you recognize and honor these divine confirmations, create a synchronicity journal dedicated solely to recording signs and meaningful coincidences. Begin with a sacred ritual where you clearly state your intention to notice alignment signs related to your specific desire. For 21 days, faithfully document each sign that appears, noting not only what occurred, but the circumstances surrounding its appearance and your intuitive interpretation of its meaning. After recording each entry, place your hand over the written words and affirm, "I recognize and honor these divine confirmations as evidence that my commanded reality is now manifesting in perfect order." Chapter 22. The Harvest Principle. In the heart of an ancient valley lived Jeremiah, a farmer who had cultivated the land for decades. One spring morning, he carefully planted rows of corn seeds, yet as the season progressed, he found himself plagued by doubts about his crop's success. When harvest time arrived, he stood bewildered in his field, not before rows of corn, but amid waves of golden wheat. A wise elder who lived nearby saw his confusion and shared a truth passed down through generations. In the depths of night, while Jeremiah slept, his thoughts of doubt had transformed the very seeds he'd planted. Your thoughts are seeds that must bear fruit according to their nature. This is the harvest principle, an immutable law that governs all manifestation. Every circumstance in your life, from the profound to the mundane, grows from the seeds of thought you have planted in the fertile soil of the universal field. There are no accidents, no random events, only the precise flowering of your conscious and unconscious thoughts into physical form. In this sacred science of manifestation, your thoughts act as seeds, carrying within them the complete blueprint of what will manifest. Your emotions provide the soil, rich or poor depending on their nature. Your attention serves as water, nourishing what you focus upon. Your expectations act as sunlight, drawing forth the manifestation just as surely as the sun calls plants from the earth. Time itself becomes the season of growth, the necessary interval between planting and harvest that cannot be rushed but can be trusted completely. In a distant mountain village lived Naomi, who inherited a mysterious walled garden from her grandmother. As she tended this space, she noticed something extraordinary. The plants responded not to her physical care alone, but to her thoughts about them. When she doubted the roses would bloom, they withered despite perfect conditions. When she believed with certainty in the abundance of her herb garden, it flourished beyond all natural expectations. Through this living demonstration, she came to understand the direct relationship between her thoughts and physical reality. To activate this principle in your own life, perform this sacred seed planting ritual. Select a small seed that will represent your desire. Hold it in your palm, closing your fingers around it while infusing it with clear intention. Prepare soil in a pot or garden space. As you plant the seed, speak aloud, "Within this seed I plant my desire," for state your intention. As this grows through natural law, so too must my desire manifest in physical form. Tend to this plant daily, understanding that its growth mirrors the progression of your manifestation. With each watering or tending, touch the soil and affirm, "As this seed grows through natural law, so too does my desire manifest through the harvest principle of divine order." Chapter 23. The Resistance Transmutation. In a forgotten valley where ancient wisdom still whispers through the morning mist, lived Caleb, a legendary alchemist whose name was spoken with reverence among those who understood the deeper mysteries. While others sought to avoid toxic elements in their elixirs, Caleb discovered a profound truth. The most poisonous ingredients yielded the most powerful medicines when properly transmuted. Through years of patient experimentation, he found that nightshade, properly transformed, became a healing balm, and the venom of serpents, when alchemically altered, could restore life itself. What Caleb discovered in his laboratory mirrors the greatest secret of manifestation, that obstacles on your path are not barriers but raw materials awaiting transformation. Each form of resistance you encounter carries within it the seed of accelerated manifestation power. The 7 forms of resistance: doubt, fear, unworthiness, impatience, attachment to outcome, conflict with higher purpose, and unconscious sabotage, are not your enemies but your allies in disguise, each offering a unique gift when properly transmuted. When doubt arises, it reveals where your power needs strengthening. Fear points precisely to where your greatest growth awaits. Unworthiness indicates where self-love must be cultivated. Impatience shows where trust requires deepening. Attachment highlights where surrender will set you free. Conflict with higher purpose reveals where alignment must be restored, and unconscious sabotage illuminates where shadow work will yield the greatest light. High in the misty peaks lived Genevieve, who sought to cross a great mountain to reach her heart's desire. Time and again, she found her path blocked by fallen trees, each seeming to mock her progress. In her frustration, she met a forest guardian who shared an ancient secret. Each fallen tree was not an obstacle but a bridge in disguise. The guardian taught her to transform each blockage into a crossing, using the very obstacles as her path forward. With each tree she transmuted into a bridge. Her journey became not just possible but easier than if the path had been clear from the start. Through the sacred transmutation ritual, you will transform your greatest obstacle into momentum. Take a small piece of paper and write upon it the resistance that most challenges your path. Fold this paper into a simple vessel, a boat or box, acknowledging this obstacle not as your enemy, but as your teacher in disguise. Place this vessel in a bowl of clear water, then add a single drop of color. Watch as the water transforms, just as your resistance transforms into power. As the paper dissolves, or returns to earth if using natural materials, declare, "Through divine alchemy, I now transmute all resistance into accelerated manifestation power." Chapter 24. The Gratitude Gateway. In a small village among ancient hills, Sarah devoted her life to seeking a legendary gateway said to bestow infinite abundance upon those who crossed its threshold. She traveled far and wide, consulting maps and manuscripts, following whispered rumors and faded signs, yet the gateway remained elusive. One evening, exhausted from her search, she encountered a wise woman tending a humble garden. "You seek what you already have," the wise woman said, gesturing to the simple wooden gate Sarah had just passed through. "Every doorway you cross holds the power of abundance, if only you pause to give thanks for what flows through it." Through this encounter, a profound truth reveals itself to you now. Gratitude serves as the master key that unlocks the infinite flow of abundance in your life. When you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present, you activate a quantum resonance that instantly aligns you with the frequency of greater abundance. This sacred principle operates through precise spiritual mechanics. Each genuine expression of appreciation creates a vibrational signature that the universe must match and multiply. Like attracts like through the law of resonance, gratitude for abundance attracts more abundance. Appreciation for joy magnetizes greater joy. Thankfulness for opportunity draws increased opportunities. The path of gratitude unfolds through distinct stages of awakening. First comes appreciation for obvious blessings, health, shelter, relationships, and daily provisions. As your awareness deepens, you begin to recognize disguised blessings within challenges, understanding how obstacles strengthen your spiritual muscles and prepare you for greater abundance. The next phase involves offering thanks for desires as though they are already manifest, creating a bridge of appreciation between current reality and future manifestation. Finally, you enter the state of formless gratitude, pure appreciation for existence itself, transcending specific outcomes or conditions. In a bustling marketplace long ago, Isaiah the merchant discovered this truth through a mysterious ledger bound in golden thread. Each evening as he counted his inventory, he noticed that items for which he felt genuine appreciation would mysteriously double by morning. Yet when he attempted to manipulate this power through false gratitude, the ledger remained unchanged. Through this experience, he learned that only authentic thankfulness holds the power to multiply abundance. Through consistent daily practice, your heart opens progressively wider to life's infinite blessings. With each expression of sincere gratitude, you cultivate deeper awareness of the abundance already flowing through your experience. The simple act of appreciation becomes a sacred ritual, a gentle reminder of your connection to the vast ocean of universal prosperity. You begin to witness how authentic thankfulness transforms not only your perception, but the very fabric of reality around you. As your practice deepens, ordinary moments reveal extraordinary beauty. The warmth of sunlight on your face becomes a miracle worth celebrating. A stranger's smile carries profound significance. Even life's challenges appear as disguised opportunities for growth and expansion. You discover that gratitude itself is a living force, one that grows stronger with each genuine acknowledgement of life's gifts. The universe responds to this elevated vibration of appreciation by orchestrating even greater blessings. Like a flower naturally turning toward the sun, your consciousness naturally orients toward the light of abundance when rooted in genuine thankfulness. This is not mere coincidence, but the operation of divine law, for whatever you truly appreciate must multiply according to its kind. Through this dedicated practice, you gradually ascend to higher levels of spiritual perception. The boundary between the one giving thanks and that which is appreciated begins to dissolve. You recognize yourself as both the appreciator and the appreciated, the giver and the receiver, united in an eternal dance of reciprocal blessing. Chapter 25, The Physical Anchoring. In a tower perched high above a misty valley, Michael, a wizard's apprentice, spent countless hours perfecting his illusions. With a wave of his hand, he could conjure shimmering castles, blooming gardens, and magnificent creatures. Yet each creation would fade like morning dew, leaving no trace in the physical world. Night after night, his master watched silently until finally speaking, "Your visions lack roots in the earth. Without anchoring your magic to the physical realm, it remains but a beautiful dream." This ancient wisdom now unveils itself to you. The bridge between spiritual creation and material manifestation requires physical anchors that ground your intentions into tangible form. While the seed of manifestation sprouts in the ethereal planes, its full flowering depends on establishing conscious connections to the material world. Just as a lightning rod channels celestial energy safely to earth, physical anchors conduct the power of your commands into manifest reality. These anchors serve as sacred vessels through which your spiritual intentions flow into physical expression. The universe speaks the language of symbols, responding to physical representations that align with your desires. Each conscious anchor, whether object, action, or environment, creates a resonant frequency that calls forth your manifestation from the unseen into the seen. In the realm of physical anchoring, every sense becomes a gateway for manifestation. Visual anchors align your sight with your vision. Tactile connections ground your intention through touch. Sound frequencies attune your environment to your desired reality. Scents trigger subconscious alignment, while taste sensations embody the essence of your creation. In a sun-dappled studio overlooking rolling hills, Dorothea discovered this truth through her paintings. Her landscapes were breathtaking, but remained confined to canvas, until she began mixing soil from her garden into her pants. As earth merged with pigment, something miraculous occurred. The scenes in her paintings began manifesting as real locations, proving that physical elements strengthen the bridge between imagination and reality. When you are ready to begin your practice of physical anchoring, create a dedicated sacred space that resonates with your deepest intentions. Choose objects, colors, scents, and textures that align with your desires, perhaps crystals that embody abundance or fresh flowers representing growth and renewal. Position these anchors thoughtfully in your environment, allowing their presence to remind you of your spiritual connection throughout each day. As you interact with these physical symbols, do so with reverence and purpose. Hold them in your hands while speaking your affirmations. Gaze upon them during meditation. Let their energy merge with yours until they become living bridges between your inner vision and its outer expression. Write your intentions on paper and place them beneath these objects, creating layers of meaning that deepen their power as conductors of manifestation. Consider incorporating elements from nature that correspond to your desires: water for flow and emotional harmony, earth for grounding and stability, air for inspiration and new beginnings, fire for transformation and passion. These primal forces, when consciously engaged, amplify the potency of your physical anchors. Remember that the most powerful anchors often arise organically from your personal journey. Like Dorothea, with her soil-infused paintings, trust your intuition to guide you toward the perfect physical representations of your spiritual intent. The universe will confirm their significance through synchronicities and manifestations that validate your chosen symbols. Practice this anchoring daily, treating each interaction as a sacred ritual that bridges the ethereal and material realms. Through consistent engagement with these physical touchstones, you strengthen the channels through which universal energy flows, accelerating the manifestation of your highest aspirations. Chapter 26, The Timeless Present. In a dimly lit workshop filled with the gentle rhythm of ticking timepieces, Elijah discovered an extraordinary clock among his grandfather's collection. Unlike the others that mark time's steady march, this ancient timepiece responded to the quality of his attention. When he focused upon it with complete presence, the hands ceased their movement entirely, creating a sacred pause where possibility itself seemed to crystallize in the air around him. Within this timeless space lies a truth that masters of manifestation have guarded through the ages. Your greatest creative power exists only in the eternal now. The past and future, though seemingly solid, are but mirages that often dilute your manifestation energy. By anchoring yourself fully in the present moment, you activate a direct connection to the quantum field, where all potential realities await your conscious command. Time itself bends to the power of presence. When you release the mental constructs of past and future, entering fully into the eternal now, you access a realm beyond linear time, where instantaneous manifestation becomes possible. This sacred state of presence acts as a cosmic greenlight, bypassing the usual delays between command and creation. Your thoughts about yesterday and tomorrow create ripples that disturb the pure surface of present moment awareness. Like a lake that must be still to reflect the sky perfectly, your consciousness must settle into complete presence to reflect your desires into physical form with pristine clarity. In a secluded valley, Hannah discovered a mysterious garden where this truth revealed itself through nature's wisdom. As she walked among ancient trees heavy with fruit, she noticed something remarkable. When she brought her full attention to any piece of fruit, it would ripen instantly before her eyes. Yet if her mind wandered to memories or future concerns, even the ripest fruits would wither on the branch. Through this experience, she learned that manifestation power reaches its peak only in moments of complete presence. This eternal now is not a concept to be understood, but a state to be entered. It requires releasing your grip on both past and future, allowing your consciousness to settle fully into the infinite depth of the present moment. From this space of pure presence, you access the timeless realm where all possibilities exist simultaneously, awaiting your conscious selection. The universe responds not to the length of time you hold a desire, but to the depth of presence with which you command it into being. A single moment of complete presence carries more manifestation power than years of divided attention. When you learn to access this timeless space between moments, you discover that reality reshapes itself according to your conscious command, unbound by the usual constraints of linear time. Chapter 27. The Divine Orchestration. Catherine stood before the ancient labyrinth's entrance, her mind filled with carefully memorized directions. 3 turns right, 2 left, straight ahead for 7 passages. Yet as she ventured deeper into its winding paths, each memorized instruction led her further from her goal. In her frustration, she noticed a faint melody drifting through the corridors. When she finally surrendered her planned route and followed the mysterious music, the seemingly random turns arranged themselves into a perfect path, leading her straight to the labyrinth's heart. This timeless truth reveals itself to you now. As your commanded reality materializes, what appears as random chance reveals itself as divine orchestration. Each unexpected encounter, apparent detour, and surprising connection serves as a perfectly placed stepping stone leading to your desire. The universe operates through a wisdom far beyond human planning, arranging circumstances with an elegance that becomes clear only when you step back to observe the larger pattern. Think of how a symphony comes together, each instrument playing its part at precisely the right moment, creating harmony through perfect timing rather than forced control. So too does your manifestation unfold through divine choreography, each element arriving in sublime sequence when you allow rather than direct the process. In the grand concert hall of creation, Marcus discovered this truth through his music. For years, he labored to compose by deliberately arranging each note, producing adequate but uninspired pieces. Everything changed when he learned to surrender to the music flowing through him rather than forcing it from him. In this state of allowing, the notes arranged themselves into magnificent symphonies that far exceeded his conscious capabilities, revealing how manifestation flourishes when you partner with universal forces rather than attempt to control them. The practice leads you through creating a divine orchestration map where you draw a circle representing your desire in the center of a page, then intuitively place smaller circles around it, representing the elements, people, opportunities, and resources needed for its manifestation, without trying to determine how these elements will connect. For 7 days, document synchronicities and unexpected developments by drawing lines between circles as connections become apparent, trusting the pattern to reveal itself, closing each day by touching the center circle and affirming, "I now recognize and honor the perfect divine orchestration that brings all elements together in miraculous harmony for the fulfillment of my desire." Chapter 28. The Sacred Receiving. The morning dew still sparkled on the leaves of Esther's magical garden as she knelt among her flourishing plants. For years, she had diligently followed every sacred practice of cultivation, planting by the moon's phases, watering with blessed spring water, singing ancient songs to nurture growth. The garden responded with abundant life, yet when harvest time arrived, the fruits remained tantalizingly out of reach, shimmering like mirages whenever she attempted to gather them. In her desperation, she sought guidance from the forest sage, who dwelled at the edge of the mystical woods. The wise one observed her perfect technique for a moment before shaking their head. Without a word, they demonstrated a simple yet profound gesture, standing tall with arms wide open, heart lifted to the sky in a pose of pure receptivity. As Esther mimicked this stance, the fruits of her garden suddenly became solid and real, falling gently into her open embrace. Through this sacred wisdom, you now discover that receiving stands as the final and often overlooked art of manifestation. Your command may be clear, your intention pure, and your actions aligned, yet manifestation remains incomplete until you master the art of conscious receiving. Like a radio signal that requires both transmission and reception, the universe's response to your command needs your active receptivity to fully materialize in your experience. Many who have mastered the art of commanding still find their desires hovering just beyond reach, much like Esther's ethereal fruits. The blockage often lies not in the universe's response, but in your own receiving mechanism. Through unconscious patterns of unworthiness, disbelief in your manifestation's arrival, or hidden attachment to the familiar struggle of seeking, you may be unknowingly refusing delivery of what you have commanded. Patrick, a skilled fisherman, encountered this truth through his own journey. His nets were woven with perfect precision, his timing impeccable, yet his boat returned empty day after day. The mystery solved itself when he discovered that his vessel, cluttered with old equipment and unnecessary supplies, left no space for the catch he sought. Only after clearing his boat, creating deliberate space for abundance, did the ocean yield its bounty. The practice guides you through the sacred receiving ritual, where you create a physical space in your home that represents the arriving manifestation, perhaps clearing a shelf, preparing an empty box, or designating a special chair, then standing before this space with arms outstretched while declaring your readiness to receive, followed by symbolically welcoming your desire by bringing your arms to your heart as if embracing it, strengthening your receiving capacity daily by spontaneously opening your hands and heart throughout the day whenever you think of your desire, closing each practice by touching this prepared space and affirming, "With open arms and a worthy heart, I now consciously receive the perfect fulfillment of my commanded desire," recognizing and welcoming it in whatever form it arrives. Chapter 29. The Expanded Self. In the heart of an ancient city stood a peculiar house, unremarkable from the outside, yet containing a secret that would transform the life of Gilbert, a humble scribe. Upon inheriting this dwelling from a mysterious benefactor, Gilbert discovered a room unlike any other, a chamber that responded to the fulfillment of desires by expanding its dimensions, revealing doorways that had been invisible moments before. When Gilbert first entered the room, it was modest in size, containing only a simple wooden chair. After expressing gratitude for this inheritance, he noticed the chair had transformed into an ornate desk, his first conscious manifestation. To his amazement, the room's walls shifted outward, revealing a previously unseen door marked with a golden symbol. Through each new door he discovered, Gilbert found greater treasures, but more significantly, he found aspects of himself he never knew existed. With each manifestation, his understanding of his own capabilities expanded alongside the room's dimensions. The core truth reveals itself through Gilbert's experience. Manifestation serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you an ever-expanding image of your divine nature. Each successful creation stretches the boundaries of your self-concept, revealing new dimensions of possibility that were always present but previously imperceptible to your limited awareness. As you command reality with increasing confidence, you discover that the true gift lies not in what you receive, but in who you become. Each manifestation creates a broader foundation for the next, like ascending a spiral staircase where each step reveals a wider view of your potential. In a distant valley lived Beatrice, a weaver who received a mysterious garment from a traveling sage. This cloth possessed an extraordinary quality. It would resize itself to fit her perfectly at any moment. Yet something even more remarkable occurred. Whenever Beatrice achieved something she previously thought impossible, the garment would expand, requiring her to grow into its new dimensions. At first, the changes were subtle, the sleeves lengthening slightly when she mastered a difficult weaving pattern, the hem dropping an inch when she overcame her fear of speaking in the village square. But as her accomplishments grew bolder, so did the garment's transformations, until it became a flowing robe that seemed to shimmer with possibility. Practice. Sit before a mirror each morning in complete stillness. Gaze deeply into your own eyes, past the surface reflection, and envision yourself growing into an expanded version of who you are becoming. Let your imagination stretch beyond current limitations, seeing yourself embodying the qualities and achievements you seek to manifest. As you hold this vision, feel the subtle sensations of growth stirring within. Much like Beatrice's magical garment, your consciousness is already beginning to expand into new dimensions of possibility. Maintain this practice for at least 5 minutes, allowing yourself to fully inhabit the energy of your evolving potential. Notice how, with each passing day, you recognize more depth and capability in the eyes that gaze back at you, reflecting the infinite nature of your being. Remember, just as the magical garment responded to Beatrice's growth, your reality will naturally expand to accommodate your expanding consciousness. Trust in this process of continuous unfoldment, knowing that each small shift in perception creates ripples of transformation in your manifest world. Chapter 30. The Infinite Spiral. In the ancient lands of the East, Alexander embarked upon a pilgrimage that would unveil the sacred geometry of spiritual evolution. The path before him spiraled around a majestic mountain, appearing at first to be a circular journey leading nowhere. Yet with each turn that seemed to retrace his steps, Alexander noticed subtle shifts in perspective, familiar landmarks viewed from increasingly elevated positions. As he ascended, patterns emerged in his understanding. The challenges he faced echoed those he had encountered below, but required deeper wisdom to overcome. A stream crossing that once demanded physical strength now called for inner balance. A narrow passage that had tested his courage now invited him to surrender his fears completely. Upon reaching the summit, Alexander gazed down in wonder at his path. From above, he saw that what had felt like repetitive circles was actually a perfect spiral, each turn lifting him higher while building upon the wisdom gained below. This eternal spiral reveals itself as the true architecture of your manifestation journey. You do not progress in a straight line toward mastery, but rather through ascending cycles that revisit core truths with expanded awareness. Each turn of the spiral builds upon previous understanding, transforming former limitations into foundations for greater becoming. As you command reality with increasing power, you may notice familiar themes returning: abundance, relationships, purpose, creativity. Yet each encounter occurs at a higher level of consciousness, inviting deeper mastery and more expansive manifestation. In a distant city lived Josephine, who discovered an extraordinary spiral staircase in an ancient tower. As she placed her foot upon the first step, both she and the stairway began to transform. Each ascending turn revealed new architectural beauty while awakening dormant gifts within her being. What began as simple wooden steps evolved into luminous crystal, then pure light, as Josephine herself progressed from tentative seeker to conscious creator to enlightened master. The staircase responded to her evolution, creating an ever-ascending journey where each new height revealed greater possibilities. Practice. Spend time each day visualizing your own spiral staircase of becoming. See yourself ascending through ever higher levels of mastery, each turn building upon the wisdom gained below. Notice how past experiences and lessons create the very foundation for your next evolution. Let each step fill you with gratitude for the journey behind you and anticipation for the expanded consciousness that awaits above. Feel yourself growing stronger, wiser, and more empowered with every turn of the spiral. As you practice this visualization, remain open to the subtle ways your current challenges echo past lessons, now appearing at a higher level of understanding. Consider journaling about the recurring themes in your life and how your perspective on them has evolved. This will help you recognize the ascending spiral nature of your own growth and manifestation journey. Trust that each return to a familiar lesson carries profound purpose, lifting you to new heights of awareness and creative power. You are not moving in circles, but spiraling ever upward toward your highest expression. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. Standing now in your sovereign power with the cosmic green light perpetually illuminating your path, you recognize that the journey has transformed you from seeker to master. The veil that once separated you from the truth of your divine command has dissolved, revealing the creator you have always been beneath the temporary forgetting. As you look back upon the path that brought you here, you see that every challenge, every moment of doubt, and every seeming delay was actually a perfect preparation, strengthening your command, purifying your intention, and expanding your capacity to receive. The universe has always been listening, always responding, always preparing you for this moment of full remembrance. You now stand at the threshold of a new beginning, neither the end of your journey nor merely another step, but an entirely new spiral of creation that begins from this elevated consciousness. The cosmic green light that once seemed an external permission has revealed itself as your own divine essence, the eternal flame of creation that has always burned within you, now fully recognized and embraced. From this day forward, you walk in the certainty that as you command with clarity and conviction, the universe responds with perfect obedience, not as your servant, but as the extension of your own expanded self. This realization is not the culmination, but the true commencement of your journey as a conscious creator in an infinitely abundant universe. Through each ascending turn of the spiral, your commands grow more refined, your manifestations more elegant, and your understanding more profound. The cosmic green light shines not as a distant beacon, but as the radiance of your own awakened heart, illuminating paths of possibility that were always present but previously unseen. You didn't stumble upon this transmission by accident. You summoned it. Let your presence be known with a single phrase, "I am ready," or simply place a heart in the comments, an ember of your sovereign command catching flame. This is more than content. This is communion. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.